Premium adventure mode. Legend difficulty, no! You mean it gets harder? You can create game clear data using the phone in your hideout. You can use it to start a new game. Wait. Whoa, there's... What? Change outfit. Hey, look at that. There we go. Dragon tattoo. Is this just shirtless Kiryu? Oh shit, it's like colored in now. What the fuck? Look at that. That's cool as hell. Producer. Lord of the Night. Is this just like a... Is this just a Majima cosplay? It is! That's cool! I'm actually a little sad that there's no suit that Kiryu wears at the super basic suit that Kiryu wears at the beginning of the game. Isn't this the outfit he wears at the start of the game? No, this is Majima's outfit. He's got the weird shiny shoes. Like the weird silver tipped shoes. This is a Majima cosplay, dude. I like the Dragon of Dojima. It's close. It gets there. I love these shoes. Dank ass shoes. Where's the eye patch? What's Judgment? Oh my god, we just skipped over Judgment. I didn't pick that one, I'm sorry. Judgment. I saw Producer and I got so excited. Yes! Yes! 1 second, I need to do a bit. We're breaking the world, we're breaking the world. You like my jokes? It's me, Majima. Change outfit. Best boy. Mad Dog of Shimano. This is gonna be short hair, Majima. Yeah, yeah. 24-hour prints. Oh yes. How does he grow? How does he grow his out so fast? Arkan. Oh, he's wearing the jacket of the dead guy. New hire. That's pretty good. I'm actually super stoked that there's a cosplay outfit for both characters to just be the other guy. They love each other that much, they just share each other's clothes. The outfits carry over to the cabaret cutscenes, though. I can't imagine. I can't imagine they would. Well, actually, the cabaret cutscenes have our customized ladies in them. So, yeah. Everyone else will do. The short hair's growing on you. It might take me a second. I don't hate it. It's okay. How's this? Let me phrase it like this. I don't hate the short hair look. I just like the long hair look way better. So, there's a little bit more content to do in the fact that we haven't completed all the sub-stories. And also, I know there is something to unlock for doing, for fully completing the Cabaret Club and the hostile land acquisition minigames for both characters. I don't know what it is, but I know it's a thing. Those are the two things that I think I'm gonna try and complete on livestream, and then we'll just drop Yakuza completely. I might wait a bit on that. I never spilled how much you like the game during the credits. Yeah, we'll get... Okay, let's start with this. Thumbs up. Give the game a thumbs up. Start of the game, I thought the plot was a little weird. just because like it feels like a little bit like you have to assume a lot of things. Like I remember Kiryu goes there, he beats up a guy, and then everyone's like, Kiryu, why'd you kill that guy? And like instead of people going like, oh, like this new blood totally wouldn't have accidentally killed this guy or whatever, or like believing him, they're just like, well, you totally killed that guy. But if you didn't, you better find the guy who did. I don't know. I feel like the start of the plot is a little funky, and it feels just a wee bit forced. I still don't have the ability to throw around money as Majima. How the fuck do I get that? But later, it starts moving along more smoothly. The one thing I don't quite get is like the choice to not make Kiryu or Majima kill anyone throughout the whole game. The whole point of Majima's character arc is that he turns into like an insane person later. And the one cutscene in a different Yakuza game I saw of him, he's totally killing a bunch of guys. And so I felt like that would have just happened during this game, but it never did. It's so weird to me that Nishiki is like, at the end of the game, Nishiki was like, Kiryu, you can't kill anyone. Once you go down that path, there's no turning back. When Kiryu totally shot guys off of motorcycles, and those guys are definitely dead, not even in the fiction of this universe. Are you kidding me? Those guys are dead. He shot people out of a helicopter. Those guys are 100% dead. I don't care what fucking universe you're in. Kiryu totally killed people. The gameplay was fun. It felt a little weird at the start, because I was getting used to all the new forms. And then there was a midpoint where the combat felt really nice, because the characters weren't, the enemies weren't super aggressive, and I was able to kind of play around with it a little bit. But then some point, like, 75% of the way through the story mode, normal enemies became super fucking aggressive, and I was having a really hard time defeating normal encounters as Kiryu, because they became super extremely aggressive and super hard to deal with in groups if I didn't have anything to grab in beast mode. I almost feel like dodging should be a little bit more lenient. Like I should be able to interrupt my own attacks with dodges or something like that. But again, maybe I just have the wrong mindset about the game and I need to just get better. Maybe Majima's completely broken moveset is carrying me and I need to figure out how to play better. I don't know. I liked a lot of the sub-stories. It feels like a lot of the choices in the sub-stories just straight up don't matter, though. And I think that's a bit of a shame. But it's also not that terrible of a drawback, so I guess you could say I don't really care. I don't care too much. I wish it was better. The mini-games are super awesome. There was not a single mini-game... There's not a single minigame I dislike. There's a couple minigames that I wouldn't play nearly as much as the other ones. But I like all of them. Baseball? Okay, how's this? I would totally despise baseball if, some of them I didn't do though. That's a good point. I don't know if I showed this off, but in baseball, if you're playing on the PC version, baseball is way the fuck easier. I don't absolutely hate baseball. If some of those prizes are only obtainable through baseball, then I will hate it. I will posthumously hate it, because then getting completion will be a bitch. Dancing is godlike, karaoke is godlike, although I wish there were more solo songs for both characters. Because as it stands, there's only like 2 songs that your character can sing, and then 3 songs, I think, that you back up somebody else on. And I think that's a big shame. I like Majima's fighting styles way more, but again, maybe I'm just not unlocking some sort of potential within Kiryu's. I don't really like hard mode. Unlike a game like Dark Souls, where it feels like healing is kind of like a core mechanic, and you have to kind of figure your way around healing in the middle of a battle, in the middle of a fight. In this game, it's just like whenever you get low, just pop a drink and you're fine now. It feels like me and the game are trying to cheat each other, because the game keeps throwing super armor enemies at me, and I keep going, the super armor enemies are fucking bullshit, and then I chug some medicine, and then just beat them with brute force. It just feels like Majima got a way better deal on movesets than Kiryu did. So Breaker, Slugger, and Thug all are really good fighting styles. I like Kiryu's blue style and his beast style, but Rush style just feels kind of lame and bad and shitty, except for like earlier one-on-one fights where you were able to just kind of like stun lock people with a whole bunch of punches and dodge super easily and stuff like that. It feels kind of trash otherwise though. I think it's a shame that Kiryu got the short end of the stick on fighting styles. I think Beast is a super awesome idea, but later in the game it became kind of a fucking hassle because its guard was really worthless against groups of enemies because there were times where I would just get stun locked in the guard animation. How should I say? So later in the game, it became a form that you had to jump in just for a second to deal massive damage, and then switch off of it immediately because you couldn't defend yourself if you didn't have anything in your hands, is what it felt like. Whereas with any of Majima's styles, it didn't feel like you needed something in order to be effective. You just needed maybe a little bit of space to switch to the style without getting dicked. Although, I do really like the very specific nature of the Beast style. I do like the fact that it makes you keep an eye out for stuff to grab. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, it's a snakehead. Yeah. What else should I talk about? Oh, I hated basically every single boss fight, without exception. They were all cool, like thematically, like the way they were set up, the music, and like the moves that they would throw out, and the cutscenes in the middle. They were cool. They were all cool in that sort of way. It never felt like I was fighting the enemies toe to toe. It always felt like I was just kind of pressing X and relying on characters' counterattacks. If you get hit by an attack on Thug style or Brawler style on either character, you could just press X or Y and get a little super armor and then just throw out an attack of your own. And it felt like I was just kind of trading attack for attack against a lot of the bosses. I don't know. It didn't feel like a test of my abilities. It felt kind of like, did you buy enough medicine and health upgrades for this? What are your thoughts on the business side games? Yeah, I actually just thought about that. So, I like them both, but for different reasons, and I think overall I like Majima's better. Let me explain. Kiryu's is cool, but it's so non-committal. Literally all it takes for me to do better in that minigame is to collect money from the minigame, then go out and buy a property, then collect money from the minigame, go out and buy a property, rinse and repeat until I'm done. And I'm not saying that the Majima one requires skill, but it's just more interesting than just doing that, right? Because it feels like a proper minigame. You get to do those fun dating sim segments. You get to do girl customization. Dude, the most fun I had in this game, or some of the I'll just rephrase it as some of the most fun I've had in this game is girl customization and then the dates afterwards. Those things were the best. Those things are probably some of my favorite parts that I've ever done in this whole game. And I think it's a shame that Kiryu's business stuff doesn't have that same amount of flavor. Like it's not that it doesn't have flavor. Like one of our managers is a chicken, right? But we don't get to date the chicken, right? It just feels like there was a lot more heart and soul in the Majima game. It feels like there was maybe a lot more heart and soul in the Majima stuff in general, actually. But you know, on the other hand, Majima can't go to the telephone club. And that's also and I also had fun doing that, even though it's really weird to stream on Twitch. It's funny. I like them for different reasons. Like Kiryu's is money for free. That's kind of hard to hate. But Majima's has so much flavor. He's got so much flavor in it that like I would probably like it less if I didn't get to share that with you guys and be like, okay, what kind of girl are we making, guys? Because if it was just me playing, I would just be sitting here silently, like trying to min-max the outfits of all my girls, and like it wouldn't be nearly as fun, right? But like because I was with you guys, we got to make Yuki cuter. We got to make I is the second girl. We got to make girl 2 into a fucking cyborg bunny girl. I wanted to make a clown girl, and girl 3 was the clown girl, and boy howdy, that was a lot of fun doing. I liked Mr. Shakedown as a boss fight, but also like he only had 3 attacks. So the game was like made for Majima, but Kiryu is the main character. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is it feels like so much more heart and soul went into Majima's half of the game, but at the same time he gets like shafted on a lot of things that I just don't understand why. Like, why can't Majima go on telephone club dates? Like, why can't Majima go bowling? Why can't Majima do any of the shit that Kiryu can do? And same thing on the other side. Why are Kiryu's fighting styles so trash comparatively? Like, I don't get it. One complaint I do have about the game as a whole is this feels older than it probably is. And how I mean that is all those times that I made fun of higher quality models loading in, every time I was like, oh man, I can count the polygons on that guy's hand. It does a lot of things to save memory, and the controls are kind of a little bit more clunky than I'm hoping that they would be. And a couple other things here and there, it makes it feel like it's older than it probably is. I feel like that's the big reason why I'm so excited for Judgment, because Judgment looks way better. No loading screens for going into stores. From what I can tell on the gameplay, no loading screens for fighting people either. It just kind of happens. Like, I think there's a hidden loading screen, but they disguise it a little bit better because they still have to load in all the combat ready environment stuff. And things like that, but it feels more fluid. It looks way better, and the combat looks more dynamic. I've only seen a little bit of gameplay, but like I'm already fucking completely blown away by how that game looks. And I don't remember when this game came out, but I feel like this game could have looked and felt a lot better. In the fact that this was the new engine. This was the new 2015. Like, this was the new engine, and they made 2 more games on this engine. It doesn't totally stoke me out. It doesn't make me super excited to play more games on the same engine, and that's why I'm like so much more excited to play Judgment. Granted, this is also like the first try that they had. I mean, this or Diesel. I mean, I'll definitely take this over Diesel, man. I still can't believe they made another game in Diesel. Are you kidding me? I'm not very good at number scores, so I'll give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up with like a footnote. Probably don't play on hard. I was talking to a lot of people about this. I think this is my favorite live stream series that I've done. This game was a really good mix of silly, glitchy, kind of annoying, and like in a lot of ways it was kind of a perfect live stream game. It was kind of perfect. So I've had so much fucking fun with this. There's still a little bit more to do, but I think I'm gonna give this a break. And I said I'd give it a break I know I've said I'd give it a break sometime in the middle of playing it, and then it only lasted for like a day. But I think this is something that's gonna come back. I'm gonna find out what submissions we gotta do, finish up the business missions. I prefer a game with goofy engine moments than a perfect game. I think it really depends on the game, right? If it's something like gritty and serious, I would prefer that the game doesn't freak out on me. But in this game, just seeing pedestrians like go fucking ultra instinct and teleport around and shit like that was fun. And it was a thing to make fun of. Ultra instinct. I completely lost my track. So to do. Maybe like here, let's do that. That here, Alt F4.